This couple were doing their daughter's first birthday party, and while they were singing the happy birthday song, the husband dropped the cake. And I would not say, or I can't tell if it's accidental or it was intentional. But for me, the way he dropped the cake, it looked accidental in my own eyes. But then the woman looked away and she felt disappointed and sad, which is normal because imagine you putting so much work for your daughter's first birthday and just hold the cake. That was the only job you can do, and you drop the cake, and which is not wrong, or there's nothing bad if there's a mistake that happened. Probably anybody can drop anything, even if you hold it so well, or your mind might not be there. But then she looked disappointed, and that got a lot of people talking, attacking her. That there's a way she looked. That the man, oh, he needs a good partner. That why would she, want to blame him for dropping the cake? But then, another thing I noticed about it is that after the cake dropped, the man was laughing, like he has a smiling face, and he was looking directly at the woman as if he wanted to intentionally hurt her. When you do something and you know that this person will be very angry and you're looking at the person and you're smiling. So it felt like it was accidental and it felt like it was intentional. And it also felt like it's something that it was doing just to test our patience. People were reacting to it and blaming her. Some were blaming her, some were blaming the man. What is your own say? You can go ahead and watch the video again and see what you have to say about this video. But then let me play some reaction for you all to watch to the end, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Happy birthday to
Okay, this video is everywhere on TikTok right now, and I can't imagine how this husband feels, the father of this girl, dropping her own birthday cake on her birthday while everybody's singing happy birthday. This has got to be the most embarrassing thing that a man can probably ever experience. This is what it's all about, though, is having a strong relationship with your partner. You can tell that the mom was so upset, and really bad things or embarrassing things or terrible things like this can happen at any given moment completely by accident. It really shows as a relationship if people can choose to immediately move on, just like mechanically move on and just like pick up the cake or whatever bad that happened and just move on immediately and reassure the partner that made the mistake that everything's okay. You got to go in their shoes and realize that, man, they just made a huge mistake, and have empathy for their situation, and that they just ruined their daughter's birthday cake and how they really felt. This is a huge thing on whether or not people will have that forever relationship with their partner, and move quickly past what just happened positively and reassure everybody that everything's okay. Damn, that sucks, and I'm really sorry that that happened to that little girl's cake. Really sorry for the mom. Probably put in all that effort to make it, or to spend $100 probably to buy that cake. I have kids myself, and I know how much it costs to buy something like that or have somebody make something like that. And I feel really bad for the dad that dropped that on accident. Just remember to don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the big stuff even. Let stuff go and support your partner no matter what.
birthday to
My daughter's dad also dropped her first birthday cake, but because he was the one who made it, he was the one upset. I'd assured him it's fine, it's not even broken. I made this one. Had this one broke, I would have been upset, and he would have the same reaction. The point, you can tell who's invested, who has expectations, and who doesn't by the reactions when things fall apart. Literally, going back to the first video, the wife had expectations, and the husband, by his response, could not care less. Ooh, also a helpful hint when it comes to making cakes. If you put icing between the cake and whatever surface you're putting the cake on, it won't slide off.
happy birthday to
I have always said, before you say I do to anybody, you want to see them at their absolute worst. How do they handle stressful situations? And I love this video because it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. In this video, this couple celebrating their daughter's first birthday, and the husband's holding the cake, and it slips out of his hands and it falls on the floor. Now, how would you handle this situation? There's many ways you can handle this, but really it comes down to this. You can either, one, just understand your husband. I love him. It was an honest accident, and I'm not going to let this moment ruin the entire day. Or two, you can sulk, be pissed, and ruin the entire day for everybody. And I get it. Planning a party is very stressful. I've got 3 kids. I totally understand that. But again, I also understand that accidents happen. That's just life. And how you handle that moment and after the fact is really a big testament on how your marriage is going to be. And looking at the comments to all the women attacking his mom and insulting him, saying he doesn't look sorry. I mean this. You're not marriage material. If you're going
You see, this is where a lot of dudes lose me, right? Because I went and I looked at the video, and the woman's reaction, she just said, and turned around, kept the face, and went back. She didn't scream. She didn't say anything. She didn't curse. She didn't say one word. You know, the mom was out there obviously trying to make the situation go away, laughing at the top of her lungs. He was just there like looking like a clumsy fucking buffoon, which he did look like a clumsy buffoon when he dropped it. That face on his, that face he had just looks like he does his shit all the time. So I personally think that the lady, you know, reacted to it perfectly fine. She said, I would have been like, really? And that's it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say nothing. She was just stood there quiet, looked away, looked back, didn't make a scene. So the fact that this guy used that as a way to kind of like attack her or make it seem like you're not marriage material, like, first of all, that is not a moment where somebody's at their worst. Bro, a cake was dropped. What are you talking about, man? You're doing too much right now, bro. But yeah, I mean, yo, it's the first daughter's birthday party. That means a lot to women. You know, that was just a look of frustration, like, yo, he did not just drop the fucking cake, you know? But she didn't say anything. She didn't respond. She didn't scream. She didn't curse. She didn't give him the evil eye. She just... and back. You know what I'm saying? So y'all doing too much, man. A lot of the times y'all be fucking reaching, man. But yeah, it's not worth you, like, throwing, you know, a temper tantrum in front of everybody or causing a scene, but she didn't do that, you know? The mom laughed at the situation away. She picked it up. She said, oh, it's okay. And he was just there looking like, oh.
I've always said, before you say I do to anybody, you want to see them at their absolute worst. How do they handle...
I'm confused. She literally just stood there. She didn't yell, she didn't scream, she didn't cry. She just stood there, took a deep breath, collected herself, and that was it. See, the thing is, men get angry when we show emotion, right? They get angry if we get upset and we yell and scream and cry or whatever. They call us hysterical. But now, when we don't show anything, when we just stand there during a situation and don't respond, now they're mad too. What do you want? I don't understand.
Happy birthday to
This, for me, is right up there with the men who try and shove cake in their wives' faces at the wedding or like embarrass them at the wedding. This feels very intentional. Like, she did all of that work. This is a big event. She's getting lots of kudos for this party, and he ruins it by dropping the cake. And then looks around with that smile on his face. That, if he was that clumsy, and he knew he was that clumsy, and there was a chance of him dropping the cake, the responsible thing to do would have been like, let's put it on a table. So, like, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm pretty sure he did that shit on purpose, which is mean.
For me, I don't see anything wrong with the way the woman had reacted. I would have done the same, and I wouldn't have seen anything wrong, to be honest, because imagine you putting so much work on something and the person just drop it. You just look like, oh no, like I feel like it was okay, and she didn't even say anything. She didn't shout. She was not, she was just, it's okay for you to look like, oh no, and do something else later. Probably try to pick the cake up if you can still eat it, or just try to go get another cake while people are waiting for another cake, or just find solution to the problem. I don't see anything wrong with her reaction. I feel like it's normal, because okay, what was she supposed to do? She's supposed to start hugging him and be like, oh, you're the best husband for dropping the cake? No, you will look disappointed. You can drop at anybody. You can even drop, maybe it might even be a child that was carrying the cake, probably a grown-up child that was carrying the cake. You can drop anything. Anybody can drop anything, right? And it's okay for you to look disappointed. It's okay for you to you know look that way, and I don't see anything wrong, to be honest. But then, as I said earlier, I noticed something from the man. I feel like he kind of did it to make her feel bad. It's I feel like it's kind of 50. I don't know. I'm like in between. I feel like he did it intentional, and then I was like, it's an accident. At first, I thought it was an accident, but his smiling face after that, like he didn't even look sad. He didn't look like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to bend down, and he didn't do anything like that. He was looking at her the way she looked at away, so he knew that that was going to upset her. And there was somebody that said something in one of those speech was saying that probably that is how clumsy he normally is, or that is how he always tried to ruin things. So the wife is used to it, and that was why she reacted that way. And that can be true. Maybe he's that kind of person that is very clumsy. He's that kind of person that can just do that just for doing sake. We all know how these men do. They smash the cake on your face on your wedding day. They just try to, even when you tell them don't, no, 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 no. I even saw a video of when the father he actually destroyed his child birthday cake. He carried the cake and just smashed it on the mother's face, and it was there. I was laughing. It wasn't funny because she was not happy about it. She was like, "Mm-mm, I wasn't having it," and she was like, she doesn't like it. And in fact, the woman was like, "Don't do this, don't do this," and he just carried the whole cake and smashed it on her face. Whereas the woman was just she just touched the cake a little bit with her fingers and just put it on her child's nose. But then what the husband could think of is carrying the full cake and smashing it on the wife's face. We see those kind of behavior. So most of them are, I feel like it's normal for them to always destroy big days for their partner. I feel like some of them always try to test their partner's patience and see, okay, let me test that patient. Let me see if she's going to get angry. Or I really love her when she gets angry. I love her when she shouts. You know, some men are like that. They have that kind of narcissist behavior that they just want to always see you sad and angry and agitated and all of that. So they want to trigger you and get you to that and push you to that wall that you get triggered. It was giving that vibe at the end after the cake dropped, in my own opinion. But then I really like to know your own thoughts about this video down in the comment section. And thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. It's your favorite girl again, Maria Davis. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And please turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified when I upload another interesting video like this one. And of course, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.